Kia ora team, and welcome back to Big Boys Boxing. So on Monday, there was a press conference to let everybody know officially what's going on with Joseph Parker and Junior Fa. There was some comments made here and there, and I've taken some sound bites and I'm going to give you some of my opinion on them. So firstly, let's have a listen to Eugene Beerman, the coach of Junior Fa from City Kickboxing in Auckland. Check it out.
The thing that we've been reminded of through this is through renegotiating this fight and getting it on again, this is 100% the Higgins show. Like, we're the B side of this. To get this to the point where we are now, it's all cordial up here, but it's a shit fight, backstage to get this to where we are now. So, David experienced this when Joseph went and fought Anthony Joshua. He had Eddie Hearn on his ass. Now he's paying it back to us and getting some back. Eddie Hearn was on him. Now he's on us, making us work hard for every little thing that we got. We lose the main advantage we had, and the main advantage we had was these guys weren't taking this fight seriously. And now, you know that by Kevin Barry took his time coming back. We were already training for 4 weeks before they decided to even bring their training back and start. Look, my gym, City Kickboxing, we run these streets, okay? If you're partying with celebrities or you're partying with scumbags like me and Doug, we know what you're doing. These guys are from Vegas. We run these streets. We have our ear on the streets. If you're not taking this fight seriously, we know about it. Now they might be taking this fight a lot more seriously. Now they've got more time, so we lose that advantage. We're absolutely gutted that we lose that advantage now. We wanted that. We felt that that was the thing that was going to put us over the edge, is that we were taking this fight very seriously, and my team felt that they weren't taking it seriously. And now they've got more time. They've seen the shape that Junior's in. Now I think we're going to lose a part of that advantage.
So, personally, I don't really know if Eugene is actually serious about what he's saying here, or if he's just trying to create some hype for the fight, but we'll get to that further through the video. Now, the point here he's making is he thinks Joe isn't taking the fight seriously, and Junior had already been training for 4 weeks before Kevin got here. Now, for those of you who have been following Joseph Parker for some time, will know very well that Joe doesn't do boxing training for longer than 8 weeks prior to a fight these days. And also, he has a strength and conditioning coach in New Zealand, a very good one, who trains a lot of famous athletes from New Zealand. And he does all his cardio work himself as well. He's been in the game long enough to realize that you got to be ready all the time. So, going back, if Joe does go for longer training camps, he's susceptible to more injuries, like when he trained for 12 weeks for Carlos Takam back when he was fighting for the IBF final eliminator. He ended up with back issues, he ended up with elbow issues, and he was overtrained. So the impact of training for too long when you're at a very high level can be detrimental. Now, if Junior needs to train for that long, that's Junior. Everybody's different, but I have no doubt that Joe and the team were taking this fight seriously all the way through. Now, we'll move on to the last bit of comment from Eugene Beerman.
Things have been too nice. This is a fight. At the end of the day, this is a fight. This is like, we're all very respectful to each other, but sometimes in all this media and all this coverage, like sometimes you can lose sight of what this really is. And this is a fight, and it's going to get nasty. And respect to Joseph and respect to Kevin. I like those guys, but at the same time, stuff those guys. They can kiss my ass. Like, this is a fight. Okay? Thank you. That's all I got to say.
Thanks, Huge.
Ooh, a bit of spice. And by crikey does this fight need it. These guys, Joseph and Junior, are very respectful, humble island boys. You ain't gonna get this sort of thing out of these dudes. So this is why I'm thinking at least the second part of Eugene's rant here was partly promotional. Somebody's got to do it. I mean, you ain't going to get it out of Kevin Barry. You ain't going to get it out of Joseph. You ain't going to get it out of Junior. You ain't going to get it out of Mark Cadell. So it's either got to come from Eugene Beerman or Doug Viney, the CKB guys. But I think that's all there is to it. I think that part there was just something to create a bit of hype for the fight. So the other part that Eugene had to say when David Naika arrived. Check this out.
You know, the other thing, I know you've got David, and I love you, David. David's, you know, I thought he was a CKB guy, but he's gone to the dark side. That's fine. But you got David here. Why isn't him here up here? Remember we put him here. Yeah, but why isn't he up here? Why isn't he part of the press conference for the you know,
It's coming up. He's welcome
for the undercards? But he wasn't invited here. You invited David. He wasn't invited here. He should be. Remember, we put him forward to step in on.
Bring him up.
We put him in to step in on this fight. We put him in. We put him here forward to step in on whatever notice to save the state if they wanted the fight. I just think he should be part of the undercard. He's like the main fight for the undercard. Yes, you're going to bring in David and all his credentials, but look, potentially there's a fight right there's the biggest fight of the undercard right there. They're basically the same weight. He should be a part of the. He should be a part of the press conference. He's the main fight on the undercard. He's got an opponent, but if his opponent pulls out, he's available. He can fight David. That's nothing against David. I love David. He's a CKB guy. In fact, now that the whole thing's been rehashed, maybe David could come and spar Junior, maybe. Or what I can do is I can make you an offer. I can help you push up the money that David's. I can help you push up the money, brother, so that they have to pay more. Maybe I can help with that.
So Eugene offering more money for David to switch camps and spar Junior instead of Joe, even though he's been in the same camp for the same fight. That's not on. I mean, there's nothing wrong with fighters going and training in different camps, but not for the same fight. That's just ridiculous, man. David would be under a privacy contract, as most professional sparring partners are, so he can't go over to CKB anyway. But Eugene saying, I thought he was loyal to CKB, that's not how it works. For sure, while Joseph was doing his training overseas, the best available sparring for a boxer is at CKB, right? For heavyweights anyway. But now Joe's doing the camp in New Zealand. A former world champion certainly offers much better experience for an up and coming professional than Junior or the UFC fighters could possibly offer in New Zealand. So it makes sense that David's going to go with Joe, doesn't it? But the other thing that Eugene said there, the prospect of Hemi Ahio versus David Naika. I mean, I really do like Hemi Ahio. And it was commendable for him to be able to try and step in for Junior Fa to keep the date alive if necessary against Joseph Parker. But in all reality, Hemi's too small to fight Joseph. I'm sure he hits hard, but I don't think he could get to Joe. With the way Joe moves. Hemi is a very entertaining fighter against guys that are maybe up to 6'4", but not at the level of Joseph Parker. Guys who are 6'2", down to 5'10" at heavyweight would be awesome fights for heavy. I really would like to see Hemi Ahio versus Alan Babick. That would be awesome. But it sounds like Hemi's got an opponent and he's going to be on the card. It's hard to actually know because everything's gone from BoxRec with the postponement, since nothing's confirmed again for the date. David Naika seems to be still looking for an opponent. And also, Hemi Ahio versus David Naika. I mean, it's an okay fight, but seriously, a pro debut against Hemi Ahio, that's not fair. Hemi would knock David Naika out quick smart, I reckon. David's got a very amateur style at the moment. If he wants to go pro and be successful, he's going to have to alter that style quite drastically. Hemi is a heavyweight. I think he can make cruiserweight not a problem. And he would be shorter with having less reach, but seriously, he hits like a big heavyweight. He hits like a truck. And I don't think David's got enough power to trouble Hemi whatsoever. So, don't think that's such a good idea. But, yeah, I thought it was interesting or kind of laughable that Eugene kind of thought he owned David Naika. And like I said, it don't work like that. But, yeah, a few interesting points there. Let us know what you think of those points from Eugene Beerman. I mean, the other sound bites from Kevin Barry and David Higgins, but it's the same old rinse and repeat stuff that we hear all the time, so I didn't even bother putting those into this video. But looking forward to reading your comments. Hope you've enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you next time. I'm Jono from Big Boys Boxing, and I'm out. So
Subscribe to Kiwi Box. That's the one. Yeah.